think we are back live. It's crazy. We start talking about. You don't hear me? Are you in the same room? Yeah, try it now. And I think we are going live. Let's see. Yep, you're there. Oh, I can see your front camera though. There, you're there. I just can't. All right, there we go. We are live. Just getting some technical things fixed up. The internet attacked us. All right, guys. So we were talking about the new Richard Mille RM 6501 split seconds for LeBron James. Yeah, I think it's a cool piece. I just 400,000 is just very it's such a high price. Not his fault, right? It's just if you do carbon fiber, you do a TPT case in there, you're gonna get a retail price of 405,000, and I was retailed to 150 pieces. I'm sure they would sell well, but again, a lot of scratch, a lot of scratch when you're talking about a timepiece like that. All right, the video looks to be going good. Let's see what other new watches came out that we should talk about. New Resonance pieces. All right, let me put you back in the room. Yep, there you are.
There we go. My bad about that. So what else do we got?
All right, so now we're gonna talk about some Resonance and what I think is probably one of their best executions of their dials. So we have the Resonance Limited Art Watch Type 8 in collaboration with Daniel Engelberg. And I just think these look beautiful. What time it is, I don't know, but I love the use of the dial and case for these.
What's color waves in everybody? I guess it's summer, and that's why people are doing these like eccentric colors. And um, I just never seen this from Resonance, like this type of color wave. I'm not gonna say I don't like it, but I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean it's not their color work. I think that's something to do with the artist. I'm just like that they're figuring out ways to use that platform.
Oh, is it
That
Elaine Silverstein? But- Or am I reading that
they did
wrong?
they did a Elaine Silverstein one, which is this is this version here.
Ah, okay, 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 okay. But even that has a little bit more oomph. This kind of the the wavy thing that they're doing in the dial reminds me of like something Meta would do. Like it would be like a Facebook type of logo. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the new wave of AI. I don't know. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I
Not
just
a
like the
fan.
textures on it. I think I want them to explore using the platform for things like this in the future. I think they're a brand that is like, you gotta find a reason to love them sometimes. And I think this, for some people, not for everybody, different uses of this platform would be would be really really good. But
The
I
straps are
understand.
cool. Yeah.
I understand your hesitation, and they are 19,000 Swiss franc as well. All
It's
right, let's
alright.
see what else we
The
have.
white one with the mountains is cool. Like I kind of like the artistic design of that one. That's
Yeah,
like that's legible, maybe not. But cool, yes.
yeah, and I feel like this was like with Second Second or somebody like that. That was a cool piece. All right, let's see what else we have. We talked about the Ming. We talked about the Resonance. What are we? There's a Nevada Grinchen, but there was something else. Let's talk about this Gerard Perregaux Laureato with a really nice infinite gray dial. I actually like this watch.
Hmm.
I know it's very not vanilla, not chocolate, but not strawberry, if that makes sense. You know, you're not stepping too much out of boundaries there. But if you're somebody who likes the Laureato, which I do, and I just love when they play around with the dial because I think it's a really fun dial, and they do a lot of interesting things with it. And because they're not locked in like the Royal Oak with the tapestry design, they can do flat dials, enamel, so many unique things. So I enjoy when they just give you a little bit of a different dial without making it some kind of crazy limited edition or something like that.
Well, that's AP letting themselves be stuck into a box. But this isn't terrible. It's just, as you said, it's not vanilla, not chocolate, also not Neapolitan. It's kind of just okay. How
Seventeen
much
nine
is
is
it?
not the crazy 17.9, but you'll probably get a discount, right? I'm gonna be that guy, man. I think like I haven't done shorts in a while, but I'm gonna start doing shorts, and it won't start that way. But I'm gonna have to start talking about discounting.
You'd get this watch over at IWC Pilot.
Are we
Going on
talking at
topic right now.
retail? What's going on,
Let's
Thomas?
like Sequan,
Let's do the exercise. Let's do the
CQ,
exercise. Let's do the
CQ. Let's
exercise.
in general, right? Like let's just say you're a savvy guy. You can get both of these watches pre-owned, retail, whatever. Would you get this over a Pilot's watch?
Yes. Which one? Like just a
Mm,
basic pilots.
like a Mojave Desert. Because this isn't a basic Lorado, so that's not fair for you to be like a basic Pilot watch because the basic Pilot watch is 7 grand. A comparable $17,000 Pilot's watch.
So
I
so
will go with IWC every time.
so so the comparable watch would probably be IWC Ingenue, no?
Well, no, well, I'm talking about price point because Algenoors are ugly as hell, so that's not fair. Because we're also choosing the one Gerard Perregaux that anybody gives a damn about. Because if you were to talk about any other Gerard Perregaux, we would lose the whole audience.
That's a tough question because I actually do like this watch. I actually do like the Laureatos.
No,
So
I love the Laureatos, but I'm asking you about this specific Gerard Perregaux Laureato because I like the Green Dial Laureato. I like the Laureato in general, but I don't see why this one specific, like particularly, why I would buy this one over a Pilot's watch from IWC.
correct. All right, you're right. You're right. Because like I'd rock this blue ceramic Top Gun chronograph all day. I would write the Mojave all day. This I would rock all, but not in the same. Not for 17.9. If I'm getting a discount on boat, I'd rather pay close to 10. But
Bro,
I
you're
do
probably
like
gonna pay
this.
10 for the Mojave. So it's just like, so you are you gonna pay 8 grand more to say you got a cool guilloche on your dial? Uh, for me personally, no. Is the movement that much better?
Nah, I mean, who cares about the movement with those type of
Oh
watches,
no,
man?
not Mr. Sequan not caring about the movement.
I mean,
But
at that
what
price
about the
point,
German silver? I'm stopping.
listen, Blanc Pond just gave you, 20 grand. Like, there's no hand finishing on that movement.
Why you guys send shots to John Paul?
I, I, I've been, I've been giving Blanc Pond shots all everybody I talk to. I'm like,
Look,
can you believe it?
all I'm saying is that there are better draw Paragos, and like, so the gray one was like, okay, but like, you didn't really move the needle with this, like the blue, that's a nice one. The green one is my favorite by far. Gray is not doing anything. I'm sorry, like it's poop. I'll get an Octa Finissimo actually. That's actually more comparable, and I'd rather buy the Octa Finissimo because they already have the gray dial, and I like their gray dial more than whatever the hell that they had going in the Infinite Gray.
Yeah, the thing is, all the great like Gerard Pergol limited editions you want, you can pick them up. Like this is an Eternity edition, green enamel dial. You can get this for 12 grand. In the U.S., I don't know this dealer, but I have a feeling if I gave him 10,750, 10,500 on the water on a wire, they would take me take me seriously. Pat Eldridge says, I definitely prefer the GP over the IWC. Maybe not that particular one, even though I do like that gray. But pre-owned, yes. Pre-owned, I'm getting at these prices. I take it all day.
I know that I have a shitty opinion, Pack, and it's okay. I've been dealing with this for 36 years, and I appreciate you guys for not hating me. I really do. But I'm taking that IWC Top Gun Mojave over everything that's not the Green Dial GP.
So I think what I do at GP is I collect all the Arabic dial editions because they did a bunch of different colors. And
Those
like
are
these
cool.
were going for like 30 to 40 grand. You know, these were going for like crazy numbers.
But
So to
that's
see
it's
it for
so
like 13.
weird because it's just like those Rolexes with the Emirates dials, and they're just like they just it's still it's still a Huron Perico.
Yeah, but everybody thought it was going to the moon. Everybody thought it was going to the moon. So you had all type of colors, and there's a Tiffany one too that I'm sure somebody still has for like 30, 40 grand. But I know a lot of people who put together full collections of the colors. Let me see if I can find it really quickly just to pull up for you guys.
The orange one is pretty cool. That's a is that
Yeah,
orange?
so
What would that be called? Salmon. It's salmon. Look.
maybe a tangerine.
Well, they calling it salmon. That's not that that does not look salmon to me.
Well, most salmons don't look
Mm, salmon is
salmonish.
typically pink, like a little like that's closer to like orange, like a.
Well, it depends. If this is a good king salmon, a good wild caught, you know what I mean? Like it becomes very
I sometimes forget that I'm messing with a marine biologist over here.
yeah, you know.
Question for everyone. Do you consider a 44 millimeter watch a big watch these days? Is 40 millimeters still the norm, or would you say 42 is the new norm? I know size acceptance has come on since to 2000. Just interested in what your thoughts about watch sizes these days.
That's such a tough question, cause it's
Well, I have a small wrist, so I've never worn something in 40 millimeters ever. So, so I already feel like I've been ostracized by this question, Thomas, because I only wear 36. So what about 36s? I think that 40 is definitely the norm for sure, and maybe we are inching up to 42. What do you think, CQ?
so I think that we've let these brands do this where we end up in these conversations about like what's the right size for a watch when in reality brands should make multiple size watches. Like it's a very weird thing. When I started in the I'm selling lower end brands. You have the 41 and you had a 44, 41. I mean, at times you had a 41, a 44, and a 46 or 47, like something like Breitling, because they wanted to serve all their customers. Now we're in a world where it has to be one size. Everything has to be one size. So when I started, that size for like a gentleman's watch was 41 millimeter. For like a men's sports watch, 41 millimeter was considered the right size. Under it was considered small. In Breitling talk, a 39 was a lady's watch, a 40 was a lady's watch, right? Now we've kind of gone down to 39 millimeters, where 39 millimeters, everybody's saying that's the right size. And I think 39 millimeters looks good on a lot of people's wrists. Hey, I have a 34 millimeter that actually I wore all weekend that looks really good too. But I think it really needs to be more on us to really press the brands to say, hey, you should really make multiple sizes for different wrists out there. Because we end up in this situation where if I post a 44 millimeter, there's a legion of people who are like, this is gigantic. If I post a 39 or 38 or 37 millimeter, there's a legion out there who's gonna say it's too small when everybody has individual wrists. And beyond your body type, I'm a big guy. I have a 7.5 inch wrist. I know smaller people who their frame is smaller, but maybe they do Brazilian jiu-jitsu, or they do something where they're doing a lot of wrist activity and strength. They're gonna. I've seen small people with 8-inch wrists, right? So they need a bigger watch. So I think we need to get back in having the brands give us multiple sizes. I think 40, 41 is a great size for everybody, but I think 39 can be a good size as well. So it's a tough question. Again, I was born in the darkness of a 48 millimeter Super Avenger, 47 millimeter AP Royal Oak offshores, Panerais over 47 millimeter, Egyptianos, which were like 50 mm's. So I laugh at the small watches.
But I think that I don't agree with you. I think that 39. I think that because there was such a large swing towards the 50, 48s, all those sizes, that's why we're getting the snapback. And I think I don't know, maybe people with money have larger wrists, like me, because they've been able to eat better or get to the gym more. But the average man does not have a wrist that can wear a 42 millimeter. Like I'm sorry, but I think that that's very outlandish of you to say, because the average man's height is around 5'8", not 6 feet.
So,
Okay, and only in America are we overweight everywhere. So with that being said, I don't agree that 42 and 40 are the average size. I don't agree, and I think that Joseph D makes a great point. Thickness and lug length is a bigger issue than case length.
yes. Yes, yes. I think we'll be all better off banding together and forming a unified front on the thickness of the watches and try to get all the thickness of the watches down a little bit versus the millimeter situation. Because you're not making a bad argument, but I could tell you, as somebody like who is selling the watches in that era, all the guys wore the 44s, the 42s, the 41s. The small guy,
So then
it's a
why
mental
don't
thing.
why don't Jordan's 42 Jordans sell for all the money?
Because the 38 exists. That's all. And the 38 it's more rare. And some would say that the 42, because the 42 can look a little bit unbalanced depending the configuration, depending the watch that you're wearing. But if there was no 38 millimeters, if there was just 40 and 42, nobody would cry. You know, there's a 36 millimeter Octa Divine. Some people
That is
chase
a
it. Not everybody
straw
chase
man
it.
argument. Like you literally just went to say, but if it didn't exist, no, and then you're right. But it does
But
exist, Sequan. And like I'm telling you that if there were 38 millimeter versions of these Breitlings, I'm sure that they would sell. They probably sell better than the 43.
so I guess the question is, right?
Man's like, I'm sorry, we unfortunately have Breitling. Sequan did this. What's
I'm
going on,
sorry,
Andy?
Tan. Tan, I feel like
I'm telling you though. I'm telling you. Like, how do I say this without, like, I do think that 42 to 36 is the range. Anything over 42 just feels pretentious to me. And I do think that there are people who need the over 42. But anything over 42 just reminds me of those trucks that have the fucking 6 foot lift on them and the big ass tires and the
nah,
bull
nah,
balls at the
nah.
back. I'm standing on
No,
business,
no,
bro.
no.
You wearing a
I will
suit
not.
that
I will not
goes
have this
47
blasphemy.
millimeters? No, it's the equivalent of driving one of them dumbass pickup trucks, and you're like, "Oh, watch out, home for Jesus."
A 44? Wait, a 44?
No, 47. I didn't say
All right,
44.
all right.
I said
All right,
47.
okay, all right, all right, all right, all right. I'm just saying, right, that there is nothing wrong with what the Super Ocean family is doing, where you have a 46, you got a 44, and you got a 42. Maybe those numbers should be different.
Bro, but the
But
thing, you knock it down.
maybe not 42.
46 is the one that you
Okay,
don't
wait, okay,
need.
okay. Forget the numbers. Forget the numbers, right? Maybe it's like it's a Super Ocean 39, a 41, and a 44. You see what I'm saying? Take away the 40. I know 46 is like a number you
46
guys can't,
just-
you know.
Dude, 46 just is like, it don't make sense.
Yes, it does. No. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry,
I'm so sorry.
but I think that it's very, I think it's very like off-brand of you to just think that Breitling shouldn't have a 30 millimeter piece, like a 39, 38. Like you think that more people will wear a 46 millimeter than a 38? Like you seriously
I,
think that?
I'm just saying there is nothing that feels better than just putting a big old 46 millimeter Super Ocean. Or it's 48 actually. So all right, let me just. I like big watches, and I will not let big watches die. I'm CQ the watch guy, and that is my statement. But I will go back and say I just want multiple sizes because you see we can have this argument all day on what's the right size. There is no right size, but I think we need to all band together and demand thinner watches. I think lug to lug is very important, and more brands should really talk about what the lug to lug feel is. But I think there is room, especially if we're talking just time only, non complicated watches, for a brand to make a gentleman size, a larger gentleman size, and a petite gentleman size, with no disrespect intended
Oh,
at any of the
what? Where are
levels.
you coming with this petite shit, bro? I'm not petite. Just because I wear under 40 does not make me petite. I'm
Hey,
so
I'm not. I'm
confused.
not calling. You see that? So maybe not petite. It's just a word. It's just a word.
I don't know, man. I'm just saying, you got a lot of clients that wear under 40 millimeters and you're alienating
Hey,
them.
for
Just,
sure, for
just,
sure. I'm not alienated because I believe all wrist sizes deserve representation. That's all. I was just born in a world where the big wrist guys were winning. And then I turn around and we don't talk about the Stallones anymore. We don't talk about the Schwarzeneggers anymore. Everybody's
what,
playing tennis. Everybody's playing basketball. There's no
how big are those
football
D Bethunes?
ambassadors.
How
Uh,
big are the D Bethunes,
Man, it doesn't
Francis?
matter how big they are
Good
because they're
afternoon,
thin. They're
Julius.
wafers.
Wait, now
Hail
I'm
Caesar.
confused because we just talked about how we need to band together and make thinner watches. I asked you how large the D Bethunes are, and you circle around the question: How big are the D Bethunes, Sequan?
I want to say they're all like 40, between 40s and maybe
So they're
44 on the
all in.
divers.
So why do you have an issue with the athletes wearing D Bethunes? They're the size that you
I,
prefer.
I don't have a issue with them going that way. What I have issue with is like all of a sudden we expect like the big risk folks are just supposed to like just accept a 37 millimeter watch. That's all I'm
Well,
saying.
nah,
You
nah.
know,
I
that's all.
think that you are creating a situation that doesn't exist because there are big watches available for big people.
So wait,
Like
are you trying to say that I'm stirring? I'm gaslighting the people? I'm
you
confused.
are literally gaslighting 15 people that are watching right now. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Daraj says depends on the mood. I like 31 millimeters as much as I like 44. It's ergonomics are vital, and that's true because I've
Yes.
heard it said that the Submariner 41 feels better on the wrist than the 40 just because of the way that the case is shaped. Julius Caesar said I tried on the new Super Ocean Heritage. Nice watch, sat well on the wrist. The bracelet was meh, and the bracelet also means a lot. I agree there too.
True.
Um, the Mimosa's big wrist guys got cholesterol and and drop, so we don't talk about them. Hey, ever since Ozempic came out, you're right. The sizes
It's
of the watches has gotten smaller. But hey, blame Big Pharma. Don't come at regular sized men. There's always been big watches. That's my issue, CQ. Is that you can always go to AP and find a 42, find and watch your size. You can go to Google, find and watch your size. Branding, find and watch your size. Take up your issue with Paddock. That's your favorite brand. They don't make 44, 42. You don't be bitching about them. Oh, because they're old and they're a family company, so they gotta stick to their heritage. They're
well,
Swiss.
there's all there. Listen, when I sold Paddock back then, there was always issue of like I want a bigger watch, I want a thicker watch, and that was a struggle, right? 5119 was the entry level watch when I sold Paddock, so that is like the definition of a itty bitty gentleman's watch. But a lot of people, they made it work. They made it work. But Paddock is not the best example, that's for sure. But back then, I could have sold you the Nautilus the same I sold you the Calatrava almost, and that would get you the sporty watch. That would get you into your sizable watch. This is how much?
No, I want to hear your letter to Terry
36.
Stern about his hatred for larger wrists. Why do you not have the same energy?
Did you see the Terry Stern video with him in Palm Beach? Oh,
No,
should I play it?
I didn't.
It's super funny, and he just goes into about his fragrances, and he has 30 different fragrances that he wears, and he doesn't usually like to. He doesn't repeat, and he just picks one randomly because the energy. I don't know. He's one of my favorite people ever. I watch that interview. I think I'm gonna watch it every day because it just makes my life feel better. Just looking at Terry Stern in Palm Beach, little sweaty forehead, but just like loving life.
Jen G says that's right. 37 millimeters are nothing. I love that people
Jen,
that love big watches feel threatened when someone makes a 38 millimeter or below. And it's
I
true.
thought you were
It's
my
like,
homie, Jen. I feel so
what do you
attacked right
mean?
now. I don't even know.
You're gaslighting
I
people because
don't
you're
even.
making it sound like they don't make big watches. Talk to the brand that you love. Talk to Patek. Why are you coming at everybody else? Everybody else makes the big watches. Talk to your favorite brand that you have nothing negative to say about. What's the biggest watch that they
Wait,
make? A
nah, wait.
Cubidus.
Yes, and so what? And so what? It's the Cubitus. And you know what? Terry Stern loves the Cubitus. Terry Stern said it was very hard for him to design, and when he wore it, he did wear it like on the side of his thing. But
Oh, wait, hold on, I'm confused. He found it hard to design a square watch. He did not reinvent the wheel. Like it's just the Nautilus without the fucking the curvatures. Like,
hey, listen.
yo, I ain't gonna lie, bro. If they cut you a check, talk to me. Let me know. Give me a little
Hey,
slice. Take me
hey,
like let's get some cheesecake. Like
let me
if
tell you
Patek is
something.
paying you.
Let me tell you something. If Paddock cuts the check, there will be signs. There
DQ hates
will.
Timothy Chalamet, so he wants the chunky monkeys. All right.
Hey,
He hates Timothy Chalamet. I heard him. He didn't like that Timothy
no,
Chalamet knew so much about ball.
that's at least an Al Gaid. Okay, I would never go against. But again, that's another a petite sir. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
Nonetheless, I think that you were gaslighting people talking about big watch. Like, bro, the big watches have always been a style, and it's never been an issue. Little watches are actually coming back into style, but they're still taking care of the larger watch people. I think just put that to bed.
I agree. I'm sorry. The internet's all right. Let's screw Paddock because I just think we need different sizes. That's all. That was all my statement was meant to be. Vimal did ask if Arabic dial watches are they worth a premium versus the regular dials? Only Rolex really. There's certain other watches, sure. Like with these, I think there's a little bit of a premium, but as you can see, they made so much different colors that just a little bit of a premium I'd pay. Just find the color that you like. But Rolex is the only Arabic dial that really makes a big difference in my opinion.
I think Arabic numerals look terrible on watches. It really depends on what watch. Like, you can have nice Arabic numerals, but I always gravitate towards stick or Roman personally. Um, Golden Baba says I you can't spell manlet without man, and I can confirm that. I can confirm that. Diraj says I owe Terry a huge thanks for diversifying away from Paddock Philippe. And then Vimal says Kylie chose Timothy and his 30 millimeter watch. Don't hate the player, CQ. And that's what gives me hope that if Timothy Chalamet can get Kylie, then what can I? I can get Lori Harvey. That's my goal. I'm gonna get Lori Harvey one day. One day.
I want to say something, but like we have 16 people here, and I just want to thank you guys so much.
Are you gonna be smirk? You don't think I'm gonna call
I
Lori
was yo,
Harvey with
I
a
was
38 millimeter? With a,
I thought
I get a chronometric
I,
blue.
I just thought this was
That's
a
40.
different podcast for a second, and I just
I'll get I will get me a chronometric blue, a Paul Kylie, all 5'7" to me, 165 pounds soaking wet. Okay? Don't be mad at the player. All right.
hey, listen. I'm not saying you can't pull you can't attract a good partner, a good significant other with a smaller timepiece. I never said that. Listen, I love a good 34. I love a good 36. I just know
Wait,
that
hold on. Julius Caesar just said something about Lori. Let me tell you something, Julius. I'm
I need to know
36.
who Julius Caesar is
I'm
because he's
36,
more.
Julius. The women I have to choose from, okay? At least Lori Harvey got something for that. most of these just have kids. Okay, I'm gonna be a stepfather. At least let me be a stepfather to a woman who got her shit together,
I
Julius.
I, I do want to say, Julius, it's a shame that you didn't take care of Mark Anthony a little bit better. Like I'm on your side in a lot of things, and I do think it was just unfair to like all that you're assassinated by your friends or people who you forgave. But I do think you probably could have like maybe get I don't know. I think if you understood what was going on with Octavian, but I feel like Mark Anthony could have used a little bit of love. I don't know.
I mean, it
You're
was
my guy though.
Bruce
You're
that
my
you
guy.
should have shown some love to.
Yeah, well, I don't know if not all the love in the world could have helped Brutus out, man. Jeez.
Pack says I prefer 40 millimeter watches for their classic and elegant look, but I have a 43 millimeter model that wears like a 40 millimeter due to its innovative design and lightweight materials. And that's why I agree, Pack. I think that you can get larger watches like 42, 43s that wear just as well as a 40. I think that, like we were saying, we're making jokes, but in the end, it really is the lug width. I'm sorry, lug to lug design. Those are the things that matter the most because they matter to the wearability. I don't like this watch. I know, like eventually people are gonna all be like, "Oh, it's the second coming of Jesus," but it's just like,
I think like the rose gold one like eventually becomes like a watch that people that's a vibe. But at 224, bah humbug. You know what you could get under 224 that looks way better?
I would just buy a Cartier. I don't get it. I just buy a Cartier. I know in your head it's like, well, Cartier is it's a jewelry brand, and Carrie didn't have anything to do with it. But at the same time, I'll just get a Santos and be
Hey,
happy with it.
listen, I enjoy a good Cartier as well. So at the comparable retail price, I would go for Cartier all day. But
Hey, Joseph D, me and Joseph D back the line. Prefer the Santos to the Cubans, just like me, because you can get it for about 20% of the price of the Cubans.
this is what I get instead of the Cubitus, which this is
Bro,
under retail, by the way.
what are we doing here?
I'm just
What are
saying.
we
I'm just saying.
what are we doing here? Duh. Like you don't tell anybody anything new. Everybody in here would do that too. Like it's a beautiful watch. The bracelet alone makes it worth better more than the Cubans. You can hate the Cubans. Sorry.
The
I
crazy
drank too
part
much
is like
coffee.
you pull up the Santos, right? And it ain't that far away from the Cubitus.
Bro, all the Cubans got is that it probably has a better movement, but like I like the bracelet.
And ladies do love Cartier, John Joseph D. You're right. So it's like you see this, and this is an amazing watch for 7,800. You pay a little bit more, you get the full set with the strap.
Bro, and you get the love bracelet. You go to a retail store, you get this for you, you get her the love bracelet, everybody's fucking happy. What are you gonna get her from the Paddock store? Oh, you have to pay up for a 24. Ah, a quartz Paddock. Oh,
But I mean, ladies love the 24 too, Jay.
yeah, but they'll love the Cartier Santos at the price.
Damn, it's crazy that the more I look at the Santos, is like you look at the Cubitus,
No, bro,
and it's like, oh man.
the Cubit is like a little bit more mechanical, I guess you could say. Like it looks a little bit more like it's got a little more girth to it. It's a little bit more like rounded. I would say that. I would say that like a woman can wear it, but it's not as unisex as the Santos. The Santos truly is. You could hand it to your girl. She can wear it. You could wear it yourself. Not the case for the Cubitus. The Cubitus fits more to you. I'm surprised that you don't like the Cubitus more.
No, I like the Cubitus more, but like again, for the price, right? I could buy every Santos variation I've ever thought about. The old ones, the new ones, the dual time. Everything has 4 to 5 straps. Ladies love Cartier. Joseph D ain't lying. I could get a couple love bracelets in there.
Well, Gen
Yeah.
G, that's I feel like it's unfair to say that because then you're going towards more like jewelry pieces because the Panther truly is a jewelry piece. Like, and Patek does make jewelry pieces, but then we're at a completely different price point when we start talking about the Patek jewelry pieces. So you're right. Like, in terms of nice looking pieces for ladies, Cartier. Tan says, well, Joseph D says Cubidus is an ugly Santos, and I agree with him. Tan says, buy a Breguet with diamonds for your wife, not a Cartier bracelet. Tan, what about me looks like I can afford a Breguet with diamonds? One day I will have that money, but for now, a Cartier love bracelet will suffice.
But a ladies' brigade probably ain't too crazy.
Maybe. Daraj kept is mentioning a Vacheron 4072. He had mentioned it earlier.
Yeah, which one is this one? Fashion 407.
And then Julius Caesar. I can't believe Julius Caesar suggesting a shoot original. Is he trying to steer this stream off into the oblivion?
He knows where it needs to go. Oh wow! So Vacheron Constantine chronograph 4070 suggestion by Duraj, who knows his stuff. I just have to touch this one with whatever this bracelet. What's going on here? So it's a nice chronograph. How tiny is this, Duraj? 34 millimeter. I would wear this. But see, like I wear not on this bracelet. I'm just
That bracelet is the ugliest thing I've seen in a long time, and we just looked at the Cubidus.
like I love a good chrono. Definitely tiny, but see, I like vintage. I like chrono, so I would wear 34 millimeter and have no problem. Actually, I dig this a lot.
Yo, I just saw the price on these. Jesus Christ.
Well, yeah, because one of those older chronographs. Look at this flat Cuban bracelet, bro. This is
That is kind of fire.
this is the Miami special. I love that. We got Cuban VC. Yeah, vintage chronograph compacts. I would rock these. Now, if a modern version came out in the same size, I probably wouldn't rock it. But one of the era, I definitely rock.
Look up this the shoot original Serenade Luna. Caesar says he loved Glashuta. What did Caesar conquer Germany? What part of Germany was that called? Was that Gaul? No, right? That wasn't
No, because Gaul. Well,
Would that have been Macedonia?
no, because the Macedonia was the Balkans. He'll tell us. Tell us of your conquest, Caesar.
Yes, Caesar. Tell us what was Glashut originals. What were they called back then? The country of their origin. Pan is asking after we look up the Geo to take a look at the Rene de Naples from Brigade. I definitely butchered that. Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
I can't get watch names right. I can't get anime names right.
Rain the nipples.
Rain de Naples.
Oh wow.
That does not look like any Glashut I've seen before. Glashuta.
Hey, look at this. So we have a beautiful ladies' watch, some diamonds on the dial. You got a little moon face here. The price is $12,300. A little expensive, but I do think you're definitely gonna get a discount on this. And this is something I'd buy for my lady.
I like it. I just don't like the price with the stainless steel. But if you think if you can get it under
In-house
10,
movement.
if you can get it
Yeah.
under 10, I'm here for it.
Yeah. I dare say, what's the price?
I'd be right.
12.3. I dare say you buy something for yourself as well. You for sure you can. Julius Caesar says he's guessing it was Germania. Wait, let me just confirm that. Did Julius Caesar conquer Germania? No, Julius Caesar did not conquer Germania. I think that was before or after your time. I think this is a good one, Jen. I agree with you. I think this is a good watch. Now I want to see what else they have for the ladies. I think even on the strap, this looks good. Diamond bezel with that white MOP. Ooh, look at this red gold with like an olive green. I would say better value here versus Cartier for sure. Pound for pound, if your lady's somebody who is interested in what's going on under the hood, or you're interested in what's under the hood, so you want to buy it for her, I think these are great pieces. Good movements, good designs, and value-wise, I know she really loves it. She's a Gen G, right? And she knows her stuff. You gather this Panomatic Lunar. That's MOP. This thing looks beautiful. How much is that? 18.8. This is actually a great price. Wow. 18.8 for diamond bezel Panamatic lunar. You got a beautiful moon phase there. You got a big date there. The beautiful complicated ladies watch for a lady who's making your life a little less complicated. I, I, I should do the jingles. Oh wait, I can't hear you, bro.
What's going on, Cooley? How you doing, brother?
There you go. Now we can hear you. It's interesting.
Um,
We talked about
if you,
Germania, and here come Pooh.
I, we gotta keep it moving. I'm losing chicken stores. I cannot look at Glashütte for this long.
All right. We got 2 more minutes. We've been told to move from the Glashütte original, even though these are great picks in my opinion. All right, give us a couple more watches before we wrap the day, guys. Thank you so much. We got 21 people in here. You guys are amazing. I know we were missing in action for a few days, and you guys showed right back up. That's why we love you so much. Do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your kids, tell your wife, put it on in daycare. I don't care. Let's get the hours up so we can get members and stuff.
I don't hate Glashütte. I just don't like Glashütte with diamonds. Let me just put that out there. So
But
that's
it's
why.
not for you. It's for the ladies. Gen G liked it.
Was it? I think it was Caesar who told us to look at these. Why are you putting this on Gen G?
Well, cause she liked it.
She said that she liked it, but she wasn't the one who told us to go look at it. That Julius Caesar was like, "Hey, go take a look at it." But you're right. It's not for me. 100%. Tell us about this Vacheron.
Um, it's impressive. The impressive Vacheron Constantin Le Cabinetoir Temporis Duo Grand Complication Open Face.
Oh, I can't wait
So
till open faces just stop becoming a thing. It's just like everybody's doing this. Like,
So you got a split second chronograph, a minute repeater, and a tourbillon regulator with a spherical hairspring. Every step in development of the Temporis was lovingly crafted by a single watchmaker. So that's impressive. So what's interesting about this? This is not for us. This is not for the plebs of the world, right, Caesar? This is for the Caesar folk, the rulers. So these are for people who really want handmade, hand engineered timepieces. And this is why I'm glad Vacheron continues the Le Cabinetoir series, because unlike AP, where all I can do is attack AP on what they do with VC, I can attack them a little bit on some things, but they do such great work in the Le Cabinetoir series that I shut up because this is a really amazing watch. Not for everybody, well above my pay grade at the moment, but a historically important watch, and I'm glad that a bigger group brand is producing it.
how much are these running for? Given the
Price
complications, it's
upon
three.
request. That's all you need to know,
Yeah,
sir.
it's like 354. Like, so like, why buy this and not a Google Forze? I buy a Google Forze before. If they're the same price, I buy a
I,
Google Forze
I,
before I buy this.
Exactly. The only reason I would buy this over a Grubel is if I'm already deep within Vacheron. There are other high-end um, chronographs that I would go for before this. But if I'm already deep in the VC family, then it's just something I buy.
If you're already deep in the VC family, you probably need to seek help. Sorry.
Well, there's a lot of us who need to seek help. I think that's it in terms of new watches. We got two new
Vimal
pattern, right?
mentioned monochrome has a new resonance. Is that the resonance that we already covered?
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
but we could pull it up
No,
to
we
end
can
the
pull it
show.
back up. Yeah. Tan. I think there will be a crowd that will just stay faithful to Cardi. But I think many women would like the Geo watch. The problem with Glashütte Original is that they do not brand well. Like, they're not good at their branding, in my opinion. And I remember we were ADs of the brand for 5 years while I worked at that company. They don't care about women. I'll tell you that right now. Like, they never
Well,
were pushing for us to sell ladies pieces. So I don't see how they'll ever take the mind share from Cartier in that regard. Ladies pieces. Ladies
yeah.
pieces.
So nobody will
Not
ever
men.
take that lion's share away from Cartier, right? Cartier is a jewelry brand. Bulgari is a jewelry brand that's transcended. They've done watches for a long time, so they're not just a jewelry brand, but they're one of those brands that weaved men's, ladies, lifestyle, everything so well. So there's nothing that will ever touch them. The problem that watches that usually make timepieces for men's, especially in the modern time, because it's interesting. they used to do lovely watches for ladies, complicated watches, minute repeaters. Some of the first wristwatches are ladies' watches, right? But then as you went into the more industrial age and things become more tool watches, anytime they want to make a ladies' watch, they just make put diamonds on it, and it becomes the brands like Bulgari and Cartier who really make watches that are feminine as well. So I think brands just struggle. Nobody really makes a good ladies' watch. Except Patek does, but beyond those guys, AP and things like that, it's a lot of brands struggle to make a good ladies' watch. I would say that. And
I agree.
go ahead. Yeah.
No, I was saying I agree with that. Like you're very correct about this.
And Julius Caesar, yes, it's a brand name. Yes, branding is a problem, but there are women who like beautiful watches regardless of brand. I think it's very, very true. And that's what I love about lady collectors. They're much more open. They're much more on the aesthetics. Of course, they do appreciate value. And if they're spending a certain dollar amount, they want to know what's going on if they want to trade and things like that. But when you're just talking about, you know, they go with their hearts, they go with aesthetics first, and then we can kind of figure out the
But
brand. Is it a good brand? Is it worth it?
but
That
it
type of
goes
thing.
back to what I'm saying. Like if they don't know it exists, what does it matter? And like they don't do it. Shoot Original does a terrible job at marketing to men, let alone to the women. Like when's the
Good
last
point.
time you've seen an advertisement for a woman's watch from the Shoot Original? So I agree with you that women will always gravitate towards aesthetics first, but if they don't even know it's available, they don't stand a chance. So I'm with you, Julius Caesar. I do think that Gushuta has a chance, but is it will they ever see women as a market that they can capture? And I don't know because I think they're still struggling with the male market right now, personally.
I'm going to end with Omega just because they've actually been doing a good job tapping in to the ladies market. They just launched those new Aqua Terras, and they have Thames as a new ambassador. So that's
Oh
one brand
yes.
actually
Show
that
us a photo of Thames with the watch, clearly.
I'm happy to go to the Omega website, Jay,
Oh
which
wait, is
which
it is it Habibi?
no, so I don't know if it is her. No, because it's Aubrey. Oh, there, yes, she is there. So Aubrey Graham's there. Let's get her
Okay,
name because we should call her by a proper
I
name.
was about to say Julius Caesar said Habibi was there. You're right. I gotta stop calling her Habibi, even though I love her so much. I don't know if I like her more than Thames. They are my oh nah. Thames takes the cake. She's oh my
Marissa Abella.
sorry, Marissa Abella. What's going on, Kelsowitz? Marissa Abella. I'll never forget. I will never forget her and Thames.
Hey, shout out to Kessler. It's my guy. He's one of the he's been newly blooded into the watch industry. He's over there at Happy Jewelers, somebody who's a big watch guy who finally took a jump into the watch industry, and I love to see it, man. Love seeing his stuff.
Sorry, real quick, Julius Caesar. I completely agree, and I do think that you're right. There's nothing wrong with the ladies' pieces for Lashuta, and maybe in the future we will get more people realizing this. You're right; it's completely branding, but that's why I said Lashuta has a major branding issue. Um, Julius Caesar asks, which is more unique than print, a printed Roman numeral watch? Wait, what did he mean for that one? Which one had a printed Roman numeral? Was that the Omega?
Uh, no, it has to be something else. Is he talking about the Jan Shapiro? I'm gonna pull that up.
Pack Eldridge did bring up the Jan Shapiro Infinity Series Pure. American made? Hmm.
Yeah, American made on the West Coast. But Omega's does and has been doing from the Cindy Crawford days an amazing job of selling their ladies' watches. They're making watches for ladies. Constellation Land, you know. All right,
Tan
so
said,
last,
oh,
you go.
no, I was just saying that Tan said that ladies' day just is perfect for women. My wife has a pink, gold, brown with diamonds indices. That's actually a very nice piece. I know exactly which one you're talking about. It's really pretty.
Yeah, you really, it's hard to go wrong with a ladies' day just ladies president. It's just a really, really good looking watch. All right, so last watches of the day, we're going to talk about the new JN Shapiro Infinity Series Pure. These came out a few weeks ago. I have a few clients who actually are thinking about these, picking them up. made in the West Coast, American made in terms of the dials. I do believe the movements on these are not the hand finished movements, but he does a more higher end line that is fully hand finished. But the dial is all hand engraved or hand engine turned by him and his team on the West Coast. And these are around $25,000, just a little bit above.
You had me until you mentioned the price.
Yeah, I know for you that these do nothing.
These are these are stainless steel watches that don't tell me the date, and I'm paying over $20,000 for it.
Yep.
This is the epitome of made in a fucking America. This is what Donald Trump wants us to buy a bunch of shit that's just over fucking valued. No, 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 no,
So
no, no, no.
so you make a great point, right? In that to make things in America, it does cost a lot. And one of the issues that Jen Shapiro has, not really an issue, but the balance that he has and what he does a really good job at is explaining what you're paying for and the man hours that go into making something like this, which is really focused on the dial here, right? And the case, but I think mostly the dial. If you're not somebody who really enjoys what he's doing with the dial, if you don't enjoy this kind of traditional, almost British-esque aesthetic of dials, you're not going to enjoy these watches. You're not going to understand why this is worth what it's worth. It's worth what it's worth if you're interested in supporting what he has going on and you love this style of watch. But to most people who don't care that much, it's blah. But if you understand the vision, if you understand what's being done, and if you can see some better pictures, I think you
How
get
did I
it.
know you were gonna tell me I had a skill issue? You're telling me
Well,
it's a skill issue.
it's not a
Uh,
skill issue. It's
no, you're right. A comprehension issue, and I disagree.
no, it's not even a comprehension issue, right? It's if you like this, right? There's some people who like wine. There's some people who like whiskey. If you like wine, you're gonna go to Bordeaux. You're gonna go to the vineyard. You're gonna enjoy all that stuff. If you like whiskey, you might enjoy seeing the whiskey barrel aging, or you just want to smoke some cigar among friends. There are different ways to enjoy a hobby. There are different ways to scratch your itch. This scratches certain people's itch all the way, and other people, it's cool to know that it's being made in America. It's cool to know that it's being done, but maybe it's not for you. It's one of those. It was one of those where I had a client who asked me about it, and he was between this and the more high end piece that takes a lot longer to get, but you can see the movement. You can see a lot of things that are going into it, and that's kind of where I lean. I prefer to just pay the 80 grand and get that versus this, but I understand why this exists and I do appreciate it. Just aesthetically, for me, not doing it. That's all.
Caesar says that they're making 36 pieces a year though, and I'd raise you they're
Yes.
making 26 pieces too many. And then Tan makes a great point. Now you see why Bangpan can sell the stainless steel 50,000 for this price. Thanks, Shapiro. And I'll tell you right now, I'll take the 50 fathoms every day
So
over this watch.
you're not wrong. It's all broken. It's all broken. The pricing situation is all broken because I couldn't tell you what a good baseline price for anything is. I don't know if this is a good price for the dials handmade, but maybe everything else is not. Yes, it's very exclusive. Yes,
But
he's
like
doing a lot of things himself, but I couldn't tell you if this is a good price or if it's a bad price.
make
Because
less
Felipe Pikulik,
watches and make them more reasonable price.
but then it's like it's so tough. It's so tough because there's so many different things that go into it, and a big part, especially when you're supporting very smaller makers, is you're paying for the philosophy and you're paying for the future of what they can do, right? But
The name
the game is just
also
messed
is
up.
not catchy. There's just this like
It's a
this little
Parmigiani
thing.
thing. It's a little bit of a Parmigiani thing, yeah.
Parmigiani at least has a little pizzazz. Jay and Shapiro sounds like a lawyer company. I don't like. Are they gonna get me out of this car accident situation? No, I'm paying 20,000 for a watch. Never mind. I'm out.
Yeah.
BT said the problem with American-made watches that regulations are too strict. Have you heard of the Swiss regulations? I think
Well,
that American. Go ahead, see.
no, he's actually right because to put American made label on something, it really the regulations are very strict. Whereas Swiss made, it's just like 65% of the value of the watch. So if we get some gold, that was, you know what I mean? We can really play around with it. Whereas to put American made on the label, it's much closer to 90%. I forgot the exact details, but it is a much more stricter process. This is why these are not even American made on the label. You know, I think there's only American assembled watches here. There's no fully American made labeled watch. I don't believe. I could be absolutely wrong.
There's no Patriot watches, is all I'm hearing from you.
Well, I mean, because the thing is that everybody wants to do like a higher end situation. You had Shinola who is kind of doing it, but they're more on the
What
court
does Donald
side.
Trump wear? What does Donald Trump wear?
I think he wears a Trump watch, but that watch is not made in America. That's for sure.
Is it a Russian made watch?
I think it's loosely Swiss made.
Is it
It's very,
closer
very
to the Russian
loosely.
side of Switzerland? Let me stop.
Perhaps. Hey, watches gotta get made somewhere. So this is the Resurgence series from Gian Shapiro, and this is where you would get my money because you can get all the beautiful engraving work on the movement as well, and you can really see what you're paying for. And I do like the dials. He does the mid case really nice as well. So you really get the full oomph of it. I understand why the Infinity series were made, but I think if I was gonna, this is also a 3-year wait type situation. Ooh, that's a nice little wedding band. Yeah, no, not for you, not for you. It's all right. It's a great watch. Well, guys, it has been a really, really good show. You guys have been amazing. We've had some battles today. Big Wrist versus Little Wrist. I'm sure the war is not over, but it was a really well fought battle. We saw some great watches. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. We are back in Florida, and we'll be going live again tomorrow as well. Leave some comments. Tell me what you're thinking about. Joseph D has already started us up with some good members only topics. So when we get members only certified, we definitely got some good stuff going there. But yeah, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. If you need truly independent watch advice, check out CQTheWatchGuy.com where you can see all of my services. I would be happy to help you out adding time to your collection. Talk to the people, Jay.
They asked for us to review Vutulane, but I will
Tomorrow.
just pass away if we look at a Vutulane right now. But it was a pleasure, as always. It's been Vutulane makes some nice watches. I'm just
I love
joking.
it. Yeah.
But after we looked at that Jan Shapiro, I think I need a nap. But it was a pleasure talking with you guys. I'll see you tomorrow.
Peace out, guys. Tomorrow we're gonna talk Vutulinen. Maybe tomorrow's an indie episode. All right, Reza, you are producer of the day because you gave us a topic for tomorrow.
Every day is an Indies episode, brother. every day.
Yeah, but sometimes I title it in these episodes.
I got
All
you.
right.
I got you.
Okay. Since it's Vutulator inspired, tomorrow's episode is gonna be on engraved dials and unique dials, and then we talk about Kyrie Vutulator watches as well. So independence with a twist. We're looking at craftsmanship on the dial. Thank you guys so much. Hope you have an amazing Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow.
Peace.